as well. He used to do album covers.
Like
he did
to
a bunch of album
see
covers.
what would still come, because I think, didn't he get killed in his late 30s?
No, he's in his 40s.
40s, so
I don't think he even
more to go.
made it onto Saturday Night Live until he was in his late 30s. That was like
wow.
The thing of him is like he was a grinder for so long and he was so talented and just didn't make it until he did. And then everybody's like, oh my God, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
He was fucking great on news radio too. Such a good comedic actor. So funny, man. So good at delivering a line. Like, such a professional.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because he came over from Saturday Night Live, which is like this really competitive, like shitty environment. They snipe at each other and do horrible things to each other behind the scenes.
They do.
He told me it was terrible. Like, and so when he came to news radio, to the sitcom, which was the opposite, everybody was very loose. Everybody was silly. We'd all go out drinking together, and it was a good time. Like there wasn't any like weird shittiness.
Oh, good.
And he didn't. He had to like adjust. Like, and so he would tell me about it. Like the like he used to like to smoke a little weed, so I'd hang out with him, and he'd smoke. This is back when I wasn't smoking weed, and he'd smoke a little weed. We'd talk about stuff, and just like like he hated being there. It's like it was just all backstabbers and
I've heard that story at SNL.
Yeah, they'll steal your ideas for your sketches, and Jim Brewer had horrible stories about that, where he had sketch ideas and he'd put them in like this spreadsheet, and they could read the spreadsheet of what you were going to do the sketches on. So other senior writers would steal those sketches and say, we're doing something on that.
Yeah.
And just like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
It was just like this constant battle. And he said he had it with cast members, he had it with writers. And so Phil was like, ugh.
That's not conducive for comedy.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst for comedy, but that's like that really weak man, like backstabbing shit when they get power. That happens when they have too much power unchecked and no one's watching them, and they get away with things like stealing younger writers' premises, and it's all dog eat dog. Everybody's just trying to get to the top. Like, ugh. That's always been a part of stand-up. Always been a part of comedies, like people stealing people's bits, and the famous person steals them, and the unfamous person's fucked and destroys their lives. Like we've seen it happen before.
Has anyone ripped you off ever?
Yeah, sure, a bunch of times. Yeah. I confronted people, and they told me they wouldn't do it again. Then I heard they were doing it again. Like there's certain people that have always been buccaneers. Yeah. They've always been joke buccaneers. It's and they don't have any friends. Those people, they sometimes have like a vampire familiar opening act. So this opening act will go with them, and they'll steal bits from them too. There was a bunch of guys that got away with that before the internet rolled around.